Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on part 2 of your Raw results. Couldn't get it all down in 1 hour, so I'm doing this second video. Alright, we start out on the second part of the Raw video. After a commercial break from the after the Wyatt match, Wyatt yells at how there will be no salvation at the Rumble. Still to come, Reigns and Lesnar on the highlight reel. Back to commercial. Big Show versus Heath Slater was up next. Back from the break. And Big Show makes his way to the ring first. Social Outcast, all 4 members, out next. I thought they had 5 members from last week. SmackDown. Heath Slater, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose were out next. Cut promos, and Axel reminds us he was never eliminated from the Rumble last year. Slater grabbed the mic, promises they will trend tonight, and says he will take out Big Show. Slater stalls and tries to avoid Shows to start the match. Show tosses him into the corner. Well, on the way to the ring, all 4 members grabbed the mic, and each one grabbed the mic from the other one. Social Outcast mock and poke fun at Show. Show lifts Slater back into the ring by his head and ends up nailing a knockout punch for the win. And the match took about, I'd say, about a minute and a half. Winning the match by WMD's Big Show. After the match, Axel comes in. He takes a knockout punch. Adam Rose goes to the top. He gets knocked off by the WMD. Bo comes in. He ducks a clothesline and retreats to the floor. He runs a victory lap, but Show meets him on the other side, halfway around, nails him with a knockout punch. Show makes an exit as we go to replays. Announcers plug the WWE Network. Reminder to say you can watch it for free this Sunday. 1 month for free or 1 pay-per-view. Again, I would remind WWE, if you're going to charge me $9.99, I better not have any interruptions on it. Any lagging on the internet or what have you. League of Nations backstage fuming about Jericho. Stephanie walks up and was surprised they held their cool. She instigates and says Jericho punked them out. She hypes each member and asks why would they let Jericho scare them away. Sheamus says that they're not scared of anybody. She tells them to prove it and walks off. We go to commercial. Back from the break. Royal Rumble Tumbler is on the stage. Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon come out to hype the 30-man main event. I predicted this whole thing. Along. I bet I was going to predict all the numbers in the Rumble have Roman Reigns' name in it. Well, Vince, the way that Vince did this, he actually a couple of times like he couldn't even open up the thing, so he threw that one back in. Rolled it around, done it again. Okay, well, Vince and Stephanie McMahon came out to hype the 30-man main event. Vince said the odds of Roman Reigns winning are like one of you winning the Powerball. They brag about Vince's 1999 Rumble performance by himself. Stephanie spins the tumbler and we get a drum roll. Vince reaches in, and he doesn't like the first name. So he throws that, picks another one. Hands it to Stephanie. She reads it. It's Reigns getting the number 1 spot. Just to be fair, Vince calls for another spin and another pick. He puts the first back in, and then the second. He hands the next one to Stephanie. And the number 1 spot goes to Roman Reigns. Vince asks Stephanie puts Reigns' name back in, and she did. Make sure that she wasn't cheating or whatever. He calls for another spin. Vince picks another one, and the number 1 spot goes to Roman Reigns again. And he does the same thing. Picks all of them were in his rig. You know that. And the music hits and no chance plays as Vince exits. We'll go back to the ring. Out comes Ric Flair with the Diva Champion Charlotte, her daughter. They take a seat at ringside to watch the next match. Tamina Snuka versus Becky Lynch. Back from the break. Out comes Naomi with Tamina to the new Team Bad theme song. I couldn't tell the difference. We see Charlotte and Flair looking up on from ringside as well. Becky Lynch was out next. She points at the Diva title and gets laughed at by the Flairs. Tamina and Becky lock up, but break. Fan chant for Sasha Banks. Becky unloads with kicks and strikes on Tamina. Tamina blocks her and rams her into the corner. Tamina with a big kick to the face. Tamina stomps in the corner now. Tamina with a headlock. Tamina keeps control over and covers her for a pin attempt. 2 count. Becky tried to fight back, but Tamina clubbed her from behind. Becky with a roll up for a 2 count. Becky finally gets a fight back to a pop. Becky with a strike. Big strikes in the corner and a drop kick with a pair of leg drops for a 2 count. Tamina runs into an elbow. Becky applies the disarmor out of nowhere from the corner for the win. Submission. After the match, Becky takes the mic and says nothing would mean more to her than winning the Divas title on Sunday. She has Charlotte for an answer as the fans get hyped. And she doesn't answer at all. But Rick takes the microphone instead. Actually, Charlotte did grab the mic and says she's not going to hand Becky a title shot because the fans are chanting. She says Charlotte already earned a title match and lost it. She tells Becky to get in the back of the line. Becky says Flair never backed down from a challenge, but the apple must have fallen from the tree. Or maybe Flair has become a coward in his old age like his daughter. Flair asks Becky, what did she say? Flair says Charlotte already beat Becky twice, and she will do it again on Sunday. Rick starts wooing all over the place, but Charlotte doesn't look happy at all. He's like, what just happened? He just made the match. Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto and Dean Ambrose. Back from the break, Kevin Owens is out for commentary. Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose was out next, followed by his partner, Sin Cara. Sin Cara? Bad report. As is Kalisto. League of Nations was out next. Sheamus and Ambrose go at it start. Kalisto comes in and goes at it with Sheamus. Kalisto dumps Sheamus to the floor and goes and nails Del Rio on the apron. Ambrose knocks Del Rio to the floor and catapults Kalisto onto everyone else. They stand tall in the ring as we go to commercial. Back with the break, Del Rio in control of Kalisto. Sheamus comes in and keeps an attack in the corner. Sheamus keeps Kalisto grounded, talking trash. Now Kalisto fights free and tags Ambrose as Del Rio also tags in. They go at it with Ambrose getting the upper hand. Ambrose with a running bulldog. Ambrose goes to the top but lands on his feet. Ambrose with a swinging neck breaker. Ambrose clotheslines Del Rio to the floor. Ambrose nails a dive and fights Sheamus off. Del Rio grabs Ambrose and launches him into the barrier. Del Rio brings Ambrose back in for 1 count. Del Rio delivers a kick to the head. Sheamus tags in and nails an Irish Curse backbreaker for a 2 count. Sheamus keeps Ambrose grounded now. Sheamus drops Ambrose with a knee to the gut. Del Rio tags in with a sick kick to the back of the head for a 2 count. More like an enziguri. Del Rio taunted Kalisto. Sheamus with a cheap shot on Ambrose. Del Rio with a 2 count and another headlock. Ambrose fights up and out, but Del Rio nails the backstabber for a 2 count. Del Rio turned Ambrose upside down in the corner with a tree of woe and kicked him. Del Rio goes up for the stomp, but wastes time. Ambrose pulls him to the mat and gets free. Del Rio runs into a kick. Ambrose goes up top and him nails a missile drop kick. Sheamus tags in and stops Kalisto from coming in. Ambrose bounces back with a clothesline and nails Sheamus. Springboard clothesline. Kalisto gets a tag and kicks Sheamus in the face. He springboards in and ducks the clothesline, and Sheamus takes Sheamus down with a Hurricane Rana. Kalisto with a bunch of kicks. Sheamus catches him, but Kalisto counters and kicks him in the jaw. Kalisto kicks the Del Rio off the apron. Kalisto ducks a road kick from Sheamus and ends up nailing a tornado DDT with another counter. Kalisto nails a Salado del Sol, but Del Rio broke the pin with a kick to the face. Ambrose runs in and throws Del Rio to the floor. He followed and slammed Del Rio into the announcer's table. Owens distracts Ambrose, allowing Del Rio to drop him with a kick. Sheamus and Kalisto go at it in the ring. Sheamus blocks a little Del Sol and hits a road kick for the win. After the match, Owens tells the announcers that Ambrose will be laying there Just like that on Sunday, League celebrates and stands tall in the ring as we go to replays. Owens looks on from the stage while Ambrose recovers at ringside. We get a look back at Jericho and Reigns from earlier. Back to commercial. We get a look at Jericho destroying Xavier Woods' trombone last week. Tribute. They cut to the WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day, having a memorial service for they named Francesca. The trombone in the back. That leads to Jey Uso versus Big E match being revealed. Announcers led us to the annual Royal Rumble numbers video. Big E versus Jey Uso. We go to the ring. Out comes the Uso to a pop. Back to commercial. Back from the break. WWE Tag Team Champions New Day come out. Woods and Kofi Kingston are still in their funeral attire. Back and forth for the first few minutes of the match until New Day cheap shots Jey on the floor. In honor of Francesca the trombone, we go to commercial. Back from the break. And Jey is nailing headbutts. Big E drops him with an elbow. Big E distracts the referee while Kofi kicks. Jey and Woods taunts him with a title. Big E goes for the big splash on the apron but misses, and Jey moves. He hits the floor. Big E comes back, but Jey kicks him to the floor. Jey with a big kick into the barrier. They come back in the ring, and Jey goes to the top for a crossbody, and then nails a super kick. Jey with the right hand. They duck a clothesline and hits the Samoan drop. Jey nails another big kick to the face for another close 2 count. Big E dumps Jey to the floor, to the apron, and they trade shots. Big E runs the ropes and charges, but Jey moves, and Big E lands on the floor. Jey runs the ropes and leads onto Big E. Woods and Kofi roll Big E back in. Jimmy Uso runs over and takes both of them out. Jey drops Big E with a super kick and goes to the top. Woods distracts him from the apron, and Usos lands on his feet, but is favoring his ankle. Big E takes the advantage and drops him from behind. Big E with big ending for the win. After the match, New Day celebrated and talked trash as we go to replays. Mark Henry, Titus O'Neil, and R-Truth backstage. They're ready to give their opponents a dirt nap. Neville walks in, and he's apparently teaming with them tonight. Back to commercial. Mark Henry, Neville, R-Truth, and Titus O'Neil versus the Ascension, Tyler Breeze, and Stardust. Back from the break, all 8 are out. Getting ready to start the match. Titus and Connor start off and go at it early on. Victor gets a tag and keeps Titus down. Titus catches Victor and tosses him across the ring. Titus taunts Connor and dabs on Stardust. Neville tags in and works Victor over. Victor takes him to the corner and Stardust tags in to take control. Stardust turns around to a big shot from Henry. Henry keeps control of Stardust and tags in R-Truth. Truth and Stardust go at it until Tyler comes back in for a 2 count. Connor tags back in for more offense. Connor with a big slam and a big running elbow drop for a 2 count. Connor with a headlock. Connor keeps control and knocks Titus off the apron. He turns around to Truth, trying to make a comeback. Neville gets a hot tag and goes at it with Breeze. He knocks Stardust off the apron. Neville unloads on Breeze. Connor tosses Truth to the floor. Titus takes Connor out. Titus made a comeback. Neville got a hot tag and goes at it with Tyler. He knocks Stardust off the apron. Neville unloads on Tyler. Connor tosses Truth to the floor. Titus tags in Connor. Titus takes Connor out. Titus goes to toss Breeze over his head into Henry's arms, but Breeze flies over and Henry hits the mat. Henry nails the World Strongest Slam on Tyler Breeze. Neville follows up with after he gets tagged with a red arrow for the win. After the match, babyface stand tall as we get red arrow replays. Still to come segment, highlight reel with Reigns, Lesnar, and Heyman. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Chris Jericho welcomes us to the biggest edition of the highlight reel in WWE history. That's because the top 3 Royal Rumble prospects will be in the same ring tonight. Himself, the new savior of WWE, Brock Lesnar, and the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman interrupts and comes out with a mic. Heyman goes to introduce himself, but Jericho tells him to shut the hell up. Jericho asks where Heyman's client is. Heyman says you don't need to be a weatherman to know a F5 is touching down in Columbus tonight. Heyman says his client is here. Heyman says the last time Jericho came face to face with the last time Jericho came face to face with Lesnar, Jericho wasn't something. It wasn't something for Jericho's highlight reel. Heyman entered the ring and says that Jericho probably has nothing to worry about, but his client is focused on Jericho. He's focused on the other guests. Jericho brings up Heyman trying to get Lesnar to bypass the Rumble and go right to WrestleMania 32. He asks if that's because Heyman doesn't like Lesnar's chances for the match on Sunday. Heyman laughs and says Lesnar was never defeated for the title, so he should have had a bye this year. He says the Rumble will have one conqueror, one beast, one Brock Lesnar. Heyman goes on and says Lesnar will fight any man in the Rumble, throw them over the top, and go on to WrestleMania as the champion. Heyman promises Lesnar will turn the Rumble into Suplex City on Sunday. Jericho asks what happens if it comes down to Lesnar versus Jericho at the Rumble. Jericho asks what happens if he tosses Lesnar over the top and walks out with the title. Music hit, out comes Brock Lesnar to a pop as Heyman face palms. Lesnar stares Jericho down as he makes his way to ringside. Lesnar circles the rings and stops, but Roman Reigns' music hits. Out he comes through the crowd. Reigns is on a mission as it looks. He enters the ring and Lesnar watches from the floor. Lesnar continues circling the ring and staring down both Jericho and Reigns. Lesnar jumps on the apron and bounces around. He finally enters the ring and Reigns immediately spears him. Reigns mounts Lesnar with the right hand. Sheamus runs down and beats on Reigns. Alberto Del Rio, King Barrett, and Rusev join in on the action. Heck, I didn't see Rusev come down at all. Or Wade Barrett. I've forgotten if Wade Barrett did come down. But Lesnar nails him with a German suplex. Lesnar then scooped up Sheamus, nails him with F5. Lesnar turns around to another spear from Reigns. Lights go out, and the Wyatt family has surrounded the ring with Lesnar and Reigns inside. Reigns looks around and Reigns looks around and nails Braun first with a punch. Harper takes Reigns down with a clothesline. Bray catches Reigns with Sister Abigail. Wyatt family staring down on Lesnar as he stands up. Wyatt orders Harper to attack, and then he drops Lesnar with a big boot. Rowan drops Lesnar with a spin kick. Braun with a clothesline on Lesnar. The Wyatts hold Lesnar up while Wyatt laughs and grabs him for his Sister Abigail. Wyatt yells about how the Rumble is his. The Wyatt family stands tall over Lesnar while Reigns is also down. Fans boo as Raw goes off the air. As Raw ends, and that ends my Raw results for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on By the way, if you don't know, just call me.